They say every neighborhood has that one person, the one who believes rules only apply to others, the one who thrives on control, and the one who always takes things a step too far. In this neighborhood, that person was Karen. And when she decided a harmless porch swing was a threat, her obsession led to a 911 call that would backfire in ways she never imagined. In a quiet neighborhood where every detail seemed controlled, appearances mattered more than reality. Lawns were trimmed with military precision, driveways spotless, and porches bare, just the way the local HOA liked them. Yet among the rows of identical homes, one stood out. Its owner had recently added something simple, something harmless, a wooden porch swing. It was a place to sip coffee in the morning, watch the sunset in the evening, and create the kind of warmth the neighborhood so often lacked. But for one resident, that swing represented rebellion. She was known by many names, but most simply called her Karen. She thrived on patrolling the streets, pointing out violations, and making life miserable for anyone who dared step out of line. To her, the swing wasn't cozy. It wasn't charming. She claimed it was dangerous, a safety hazard that could collapse and injure someone. And in typical fashion, she didn't just complain to the HOA. She picked up her phone and dialed 911. Police cars arrived in the middle of the afternoon, lights flashing. Neighbors peeked through blinds, curious to see what kind of chaos Karen had stirred up this time. Officers approached the porch swing, inspected it, and quickly realized it was nothing more than a sturdy, safe piece of outdoor furniture. The call had been exaggerated, another one of Karen's crusades to assert control where none was needed. But the story didn't end there. As officers made their report, something caught their attention. From Karen's backyard drifted the faint sound of water running. Curious, one of them took a look over the fence. What they saw was far more troubling than a harmless swing. Karen's backyard was a disaster zone. Rusted play equipment leaned precariously, broken boards from an old deck jutted out dangerously, and a half-dug pond had filled with stagnant water and debris. It wasn't just messy, it was hazardous. The officers, now unimpressed with Karen's claims, stepped into her yard. What they documented went beyond neglect. Loose nails, unstable structures, and waterlogged areas posed genuine risks to children and pets in the neighborhood. What Karen had tried to paint as her neighbor's hazard paled in comparison to the real danger lurking behind her own fence. News spread fast. The same neighbors who had endured Karen's complaints for years finally had proof of her hypocrisy. The HOA, often eager to enforce minor rules on others, had no choice but to turn their focus onto her property. Fines were issued, demands for repair stacked up, and Karen suddenly found herself drowning in the very kind of pressure she had inflicted on so many. The porch swing remained exactly where it was, a symbol of peace and quiet enjoyment. Meanwhile, Karen faced the embarrassment of being exposed for the very thing she accused others of. In the end, her attempt to control backfired spectacularly. The swing stayed, and her reputation crumbled. Because sometimes, when you call 911 on a harmless swing, you end up revealing the real disaster is your own backyard.